Returning to one of our top stories of previous weeks, and that is the ongoing problems in Afghanistan, and we're joined now by political analyst and professor at Curtin University, Joe Siracusa. Joe, good morning to you. What do you make of the political fallout in the past week since we have last spoken?
Good morning, Pete. Look, the political fallout continues to grow in the United States and probably other places. President Biden has been concerned with Hurricane Ida and the infrastructure package and all the rest of it, but he can't escape the momentum to hold him accountable. Now, while there are people who will argue with him that America's war would have to end one day, almost everybody agrees that the way it ended was inexcusable. The admirals and the generals have gone on into the media, television, and the rest of it, arguing that the president should have listened to them. And there's a very interesting thing here. While the military was very happy to see the back of Donald Trump, they were very happy to see the President Biden. And of course, Biden ignored their advice in terms of the evacuation, so they're all very angry with him. And there's really no one left to blame. But I saw this morning that a number of people in Congress have already organized articles of impeachment against Secretary of State Blinken. He's number 5th in line for the president. And of course, then we have President Pro Tem and the Speaker of the House. So we're going to see we're going to see some pretty heavy battling there. Now, the important thing is that people are arguing that maybe why did we get so little out of Afghanistan after a 20-year war? And a number of people are arguing, well, our intelligence wasn't very good. And indeed, it wasn't. The Americans, like the Australians probably, they like to use high-tech and technology and satellites and all that kind of stuff. And of course, what we needed in a place like that, particularly with the divisions within the Taliban, we needed human intelligence. One of the reasons the United States was able to help the Colombian government break the back of the terrorists there was because they had about 500,000 informants in the field. In this war, all we have are drones and satellites and the rest of it, and human intelligence doesn't work. So people are going to start to look at this, and they're going to conflate. They're going to put together the anniversary of 9/11 and the debacle in Afghanistan and try to draw some long lessons out of this. And the long lesson is that we can't afford to give up a place like Afghanistan in terms of its geopolitical significance. I mean, here's a place that's the sphere of influence for Russia. It is borders on China, Pakistan, and Iran, and we have nuclear weapons all over the place. And now we have a radical Islamic regime, which is in bed with Al-Qaeda, not to mention ISIS on the side. And so how are we going to counter that? That is why a number of military people are arguing the military fallout is we're going to have to go back there in 2 to 3, maybe 4 years. So we're not done with that part of the Middle East. Yeah. But Joe Biden's troubles continue to double down on him, and people want to know exactly what went wrong. And I'll tell you what, the presidency ages people. And at 78 years old, the president's getting older every day.
Yeah. It's the odds seem to be shortening, Joe, about whether he'll get to the end of 4 years.
No, he won't get to the end of 4 years. Look, the great journalist once said in St. Louis that all the odds in life are 9 to 5 against. And so I'd say that his odds are probably 9 to 5 against. I don't think he's going to make it. I don't know if Kamala Harris will be in the background. I don't know if she has the ability to do this, though. I did think I was very high on her once. I thought she had the capability. Yeah. No, Joe Biden isn't going to finish the term.
I think a lot of people are, people who aren't supportive of Joe Biden at least want him to stay there rather than Kamala Harris coming in and taking the top spot.
Well, there are a number of conspiracy people who argue that Biden was chosen to screw up so Kamala Harris can catapult into the White House. I won't go that far, as a matter of fact, but it's quite clear to me that this is all bearing down very heavily on the president. And look, yeah. I don't believe in all this cognitive stuff, but he was slurring his words and his thoughts the other day. You can see he was struggling with the teleprompter, and that's never a good sign.
Yeah,
but I'd say
that's the leader of the free world right there. Hey, Joe, we're out of time. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
Talk to you again next week. Appreciate that. Thanks, Joe.